You've hit the level cap, got a handful of invasion tickets, and you're staring down one big-ass monster. It's time to make an example out of your enemies and teach all that would oppose you to fear the shadows. This is the Shadowhunter Assassination build. What's going on, guys? This is K-Knight23, the video game professor, and I'm going over the Assassination build today. For endgame, I found the most success bringing down the devils with this build. In the Assassination tree, you're going to spend 37 points. Darkside Whip with 2 points into Crecent Moon Halo for the increased critical chance to help quickly clear trash. We have a few good energy builders, so I'm ignoring Stolen Moonlight. Our next points will go into mastering Dark Dimension. This is a great ability to engage, disengage, or help you get out of trouble when your dodge is down. Additionally, the evasion buff it grants is huge for helping you survive the close combat you'll be subjected to. Pandemonium increases the length, and Umbral King will give you some energy back when you get low from spamming our next skill, Shimmering Moonlight. This is the bread and butter of the build. Master this skill. There are few instances where an equally geared player will outdamage a single target when we spam this skill. It's super huge damage, a chance to cost 0 energy, has a high crit chance, and extra damage against champions and bosses. This is the skill designers were thinking of when they made this the Assassination tree. Shimmering Moonlight should be spammed on bosses and champions. Wild Chain should be used on cooldown, not just for the damage, but again for the evasion buff. Your goal is to stick to the boss as long as possible, tearing into them with Shimmering Moonlight, and Wild Chain gives you a few extra seconds of decent evade. If you can time it when a boss is about to attack, you'll get the most out of those 2 seconds. Max Frenzied damage for the extra crit, Frenzied Dance for the lower cooldown, and Instant Strike for the damage against bosses. We're skipping Soul Binding because we're not interested in clearing trash here, we're interested in killing the big baddie. Put 1 point in Binding Chain. This isn't going to help us go big game hunting, but it offers a lot of utility to be ignored altogether. Keep it on your hotbar to offer some crowd control when necessary. Natural Born Killer, Trained Assassin, and Agile Assassin deserve all your points. The damage gets layered on with these skills, and the extra evasion will help keep you in the fight. Moving into the Shadow Tree, you'll pick up Dark Vortex. 2 points are throwaway, needed only to unlock Abyssal Dimension. I put them into the Shadow Meld for the reduced energy cost, in the event I accidentally hit this hotkey because I sneezed or something. You will put 1 point in Abyssal Dimension and 2 points into Abyssal Awakening. The debuff is great, and although 45% damage seems small, it will tick several times during the 8-second duration, and the damage adds up. The main reason we have this is, you guessed it, for the bonus to evasion. Abyssal Awakening decreases the cooldown to let us fight from the shadows even longer. The rotation is simple. Run up to the boss and immediately start spamming Shimmering Moonlight. If you're planning on tanking or taking aggro, engage with Dark Dimension to avoid the first few hits. Run up to the boss and immediately start spamming Shimmering Moonlight. If you're planning on tanking or taking aggro, engage with Dark Dimension to avoid the first few hits. Otherwise, save it for an oh shit moment to get out of the way or to get some quick energy for some more Shimmering Moonlight spam. Use Wild Chain on cooldown or whenever the boss is about to hit you with something big, if you can time it properly. Abyssal Dimension should also be kept on cooldown for the evasion it offers and the damage it does. Remember, your goal is to stick to the boss and keep smacking them, but you can't do that if you're dead. You don't have the luxury of a lot of armor. You don't have the luxury of a ranged weapon. You are an assassin. You are a shadow hunter. You must attack each boss with your wits as well as your weapons. For this reason, and to get the most out of this class, go into fights knowing your enemy. Know how the boss telegraphs their attacks. Know when to disengage and when to roll. You mitigate damage best through your passive evasion and your active evasion. If you can avoid getting hit, do so. Don't be an idiot. Mistakes will happen, so learn from them. When prioritizing gear and stats, remember, agility for a balanced playstyle, fortitude for tanking, health absorb for sustain, and crit and penetration chance and damage to turn your enemies into something resembling beef stroganoff. Happy hunting, Devilians. I'm K-Knight23, the video game professor, and I hope you liked the video. Please give it the thumbs up and subscribe. Follow us on Twitch and Twitter, and don't forget to teach your enemies to fear the shadows.